Hello, hello, hello. We are live. Okay, so I was trying to fix this Instagram situation here. Give me 1 second, please. Just be quick, I promise. uh, it won't let me be great, but it's not gonna beep me today, though. Nope, not going to do it. Don't exactly know how to do this, but what? Yeah, let's just go with Old Faithful. All right. So, how's everyone doing this evening? I know everyone's probably anxiously awaiting the results. And in our state, I'm in Georgia, and whew, mm, we trying to turn blue. Oh, praying to Jesus that we turn blue. It would just be such a great thing. But um, I hope everyone is doing well. I am almost set here. I'm just gonna go live on Instagram, that um, make sure that we're good to go. Boom. All right. So, hi, welcome to Glow Up Thursdays. Woo woo. Dr. Nicole McCarty here. Um, and I am glad you all took time out of your busy schedules to join me. And tonight we are talking about stress. And if I'm looking both places again, I'm trying to take. I'm getting better each week, y'all. I appreciate your patience. I'm trying to stream in 2 different places, but um, we are talking about stress, and I'm pretty sure no one is dealing with any stress right now. Not at all, right? Yeah, yeah, right, Valerie. Georgia turns blue. That's what we're that's what we're praying for right there. Um, and so we are talking about stress, and stress is it's a silent killer. And I know oftentimes you kind of hear that buzzword, oh, stress is a silent killer, and you can kind of get numb to it. But tonight I'm gonna go a little nerdy on you. Okay, I'm gonna channel my nerd, and so it's okay. Nerds rule the world. Well, not the one. Yeah. Real nerds rule the world. But um, anyhow, I digress. But what I'm saying is, I'm going to give you a crash course in what happens in your body when you are stressed. And I want you to know there's a thing with between good stress, there's bad stress. Um, and while they are separate, cumulatively, your body can't tell the difference. So that's why it's always important for us to be mindful of what our stress situation is like, and and how we're managing it, because those things are important. So I want you, because this is always interactive. I love for you all to talk back to me. So do me a favor. I want you to drop in the chat. And I've got like 3 different chats going on here. But drop in the chat, what are some of the symptoms that you all experience with stress? And I know even if you're not sure if it's a symptom due to stress, but just kind of chime in. Like, what are some of the things that you um, experience when you're stressed? I know I can name a few. I know what I experience, but what are some things that you all experience? And I'm going to try to find the feed here if I can. Nope, don't know if I can, so might just leave it alone. Okay, what you guys got? Headaches, yes. Headaches are definitely one for me too. I get those stinking little migraines sometimes. Yep, headaches that kind of go from the neck and shoulders. Sleeplessness, that insomnia. Oof, sometimes it's a bear, right? Now you can't go to sleep. You're restless. You feel terrible. You can't sleep it away. Um, panic attacks. Panic attacks. Yep. Yep. Those definitely happen when you're stressed because your body all of a sudden it just kind of wigs out on you, right? It doesn't really know how to handle um, all those things. And tonight I'm going to do, like I said, give you a brief crash course in what's happening inside your body so that you can have a better understanding of why things happen the way they do. Okay. Any other symptoms you all have? Other things like stomach upset, depression, right? Any GI issues, absolutely. Um, of course, muscle aches. The aches and pains or neck tightness, stiffness. Um, excuse me, shortness of breath. All of those things are symptoms of stress. And so, um, generally, here's what happens in the body when we're under stress. So our eyes and ears, our eyes and ears, they sense, stress or um, something that is not good for the body or that's going to put undue stress on the body. They sense that, right? They pick up those sensors and those travel to the amygdala, okay? Because stress kind of happens in the brain, right? It's all in the brain. So it travels to the amygdala. The amygdala is the emotional center, but it also kind of interprets this information from our eyes and ears. Okay. And so when it perceives danger, then the red lights start flashing and, then it signals our hypothalamus. Okay. And that is the command center of the brain. Okay. And the hypothalamus, sorry, I got tongue tied here. The hypothalamus houses the autonomic nervous system. I know that's a big word, but autonomic nervous system is comprised of two systems. You've got your sympathetic and your parasympathetic. And I'm sure these might be words you've heard before. So your sympathetic nervous system, that's our fight or flight. So that's either I'm going to punch it in the face or I'm going to run away, right? And then our parasympathetic nervous system, that's the one we call rest and digest. Right? Because this is our easy breezy. We're going to have a meal. We're going to chill out. Our food's going to digest. And those two systems can't be on 10 at the same time. Okay. So when we are stressed, and it goes through this whole long process and all kinds of chemical mediators and chemicals in the body like epinephrine and cortisol and adrenaline and all those things happen. But in the end, the result is you get an increased heart rate. You have increased blood pressure, and this happens and it causes or it happens because you've got blood that's rushing to the muscles, it's rushing to our vital organs, is rushing to the heart. Okay, it's rushing all these places, and then you've got extra oxygen that goes to the brain, so it's making you more alert. So if any of you have ever been walking to your car at night, especially as ladies, walk into a car and you hear something and all of a sudden your spidey senses go up, you're like, oh, what was that? And you walk real fast, but you're heightened, right? So now you start panning and you're looking for things, your ears are on alert. And so that causes that alertness, but that's because we get that boost of oxygen to the brain. Okay, so it makes us more alert, but then it also increases our blood sugar and it takes our temporary fat stores and it uses those things as energy in case we have to fight or flight, right? And so here's what happens because of that. Okay, because of that, when we're in this chronic stress system, or when our system is chronically stressed and it doesn't cut off, that's not good. Okay, so this continual release or that persistent release of epinephrine, it can cause damage to our blood vessels, like our arteries. It can cause damage to our heart. It can increase our blood pressure. It can increase the risk of stroke. It can increase the risk of heart attack. That increased cortisol, well, that inadvertently can lead to the buildup of fat tissue and subsequent weight gain. So, in when I'm working with my clients and my patients, and I when I'm like, oh, I want to lose weight. Well, it's never just a matter of losing weight. I mean, if it was solely based on nutrition or exercise, then, be a pretty easy fix. But it's never solely based on those things. And that's why, you know, in my programs, I focus on the whole person. Like, no, no, no. Yeah, I might get you eating right and we're going to do some activity, but we're also going to tackle some other things because what difference does it make if we fix the physical aspect, but the mental and emotional and spiritual is still jacked up? Because there are things happening in the body, i.e., chronic stress, which leads to all of these things: increased weight gain, fat retention, or buildup of fat tissue, and increased risk of heart attack and stroke, and you know deterioration of our blood vessels. If all these things are happening, then what difference does it make if you're eating decently? I wouldn't even say eating right, because most times when those things are happening, no one is eating right. Right? Okay, when those kind of things are happening, you're reaching for your sweets, you're reaching for your salty snacks, you're reaching for, maybe, I don't know, you might be reaching for alcohol. I don't know what you're reaching for, but you reach for things that you probably shouldn't reach for as often, right? So, that is kind of a crash course of what happens with stress, and more importantly, what happens with chronic stress. And that's even, um, hence the time. I know more than a few people who are, you're either super stressed about it or you just kind of giving up the ghost and you're like, all right, God, have your way, right? I'm the latter. I'm not stressed about this at all. Can't be, right? But there are other things that are happening in the lives of people that sometimes we'll never know about. So it might not be the election or what's happening in, the temperature of the climate that we're in, if you will. It might be something relationship wise, or it might be something internally. You never know what someone is going through, what kind of stress they're going through, and that's one of the reasons for sure why we have to address stress. Okay, and I said it's a silent killer because it is. I mean, and I just gave you a snippet, just like a little snippet of what happens with stress and with chronic stress in the body. And think about it. If all of those things are happening when you're on high alert, again, go back to a stressful situation that you've experienced, can you imagine what your body feels like on the inside when it's just like that all the time? It's no way to live. No wonder your neck gets tight. No wonder you have headaches. No wonder you can't sleep. Those are all things. So, and we've all been guilty of it. We've all been there. We all have our ways that we handle stress, or not. A lot of us don't know how to properly handle stress. Okay. And that's okay. That's part of, that's why you have people like me who can help you navigate through those stress streets so that you can live the life you want. So, now that we've covered that, I want you to understand that stress is relative. Okay, so 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 plus 1 always equals 2. Always, always, always. So, if you're already stressed, and then we call that chronic stress if you're stressed over a long period of time consistently, and then you have these acute or these short stressful episodes, then all of that adds up. Okay. And that's when our body begins to break down and we have all these issues. We have high blood pressure, we have diabetes, and I'm not saying stress is the only thing that contributes to the breakdown, but it contributes a colossal portion. So these are things that once we start to address the root cause, then I think we're able to really improve health and improve our state of health. And until we do that, then you can do as many fitness programs as you want to. You can go on as many diets as you want to, but you're gonna always come back to that same place of being unhappy, or lacking confidence, or maybe not loving the skin you're in, or not feeling your best. So that is a huge reason why I really wanted to talk about stress tonight, especially in light of what's happening in our nation right now. And so, with that being said, um, I'd like to hear from you. What kind of things are you doing to tackle your stress? Like, what kind of things are you doing? Like, when you're stressed, and you're stressed, because sometimes we can be stressed and not realize it. hmm that happens. But when you're stressed and you're stressed, what kind of outlets do you turn to blow off steam? Drop it in the chat. I want to see. Drop it in the chat. I want to see. What you got? Some people might go to the gym. Yep. Workout. hmm Working out is a good one. Listen to music. Yeah. What kind of music? What kind of music, Godmommy? What kind of music? Write it out. Okay, Edward. So are you a poet? Are you a poet or more just kind of free flow, walk in nature? That's beautiful. Walking in nature, man, that can go so many ways. Jazz, I love jazz too. Man, walking in nature is wonderful on so many levels, especially if the sun is out, then you get your vitamin D, so your bones are strong, your teeth are strong, and then you get to just admire God's beauty. Because let's just be honest, most days I walk outside and it's absolutely gorgeous, and only God can create a picture that beautiful. Just absolutely just stunning, just beautiful sky, everything. So walking in nature is definitely one of the ones I enjoy too. Um, Edward says, "I'm a free flow. Let my emotions come out in its rawest form." Come on, sir. You better free flow. I like that. I do. Yeah. And so whatever your outlet is, and the blessing is, and you all are aware aware enough that you know what you need to relax. Dr. Pepper and Snickers. No, 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 no. That's my godmother, y'all. So it's a running joke. We kind of go back and forth there. But absolutely. And then, oh, yes, yes, Valerie. Yeah, when I walk in nature, I can see and hear God. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. It kind of clears everything away. It's almost like you can't go outside and it's a gorgeous day and be angry. I mean, once you start looking around, it melts. It melts right off of you. Yep. Yep. So those are all really, really, really healthy outlets. And it's important that you have healthy outlets, because when you know that you're stressed, then you can go and you can write, okay, or you can listen to music, jazz. You can go on a nature walk. You can work out. You can do all these things that can help relieve the stress and take your sympathetic system, you know, have it go from high down low, so your body can arrive at a state of homeostasis and be chill and nice, cool, calm, and collected. So that's awesome, and that makes me happy that you all have your respective outlets. And you know what? Respective outlets, that's I actually had written down, I said, well, let's talk about some of the ways that we can reduce stress, or some things that we can do. And you all hit it. Exercise. Okay. Slow down. So that nature walk, that can be a way of slowing down, right? You can slow down. Um, One thing that's always helpful, I'd set, especially when I was like leaving the house to go to work, I would set the clock like 10 or 15 minutes ahead. I had to trick myself. Okay. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Okay. But I had to trick myself. And here's the thing, what it does though is you don't have to rush. Because let's be honest, I don't care where you are, but no matter where you are, there's going to be traffic at some point. Right. So when you leave under the understanding that it's a certain time, and then you get in the car and you run into traffic, you've already kind of built in your buffer, so you don't have to stress. You don't have to stress. Another thing you can do, you can ride in a slow lane, because if you've ever ridden in the fast lane of the highway, ooh, mm, yeah, some of those people better be glad to know Jesus. It's they some just wreck my nerve. So you can ride in a slow lane. That's always an option. And then breathing. Breathing is huge. So, I remember when I was little, I watched Family Matters. You guys remember Family Matters with Steve Urkel and Carl Winslow and Laura, right? And I believe it was Carl because he was a cop, right? And he would do the 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? I think that's Family Matters. It might be a different show, but the 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. What the heck is bothering me? And I remember that. And he would do that as he was taking nice deep breaths in and deep breaths out. But breathing will help to reduce that stress. Okay, breathing, and you don't have to take a bunch of deep breaths. If you do like 3 to 5, honestly, by 3, you're kind of calming down. You're like, oh, okay, it's all right. Um, and art, reflects life, right? So, I always think of Bad Boys, and I think I did a daily wellness minute on this one. But Bad Boys, they did woosah. Like that's my jam. Right? Woosah, woosah. hmm Yeah, that's my jam. So, but again, all of those incorporate breathing. So you take a deep breath in, you blow it out through your mouth, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And those are ways that you can reduce your stress, especially your stress at the moment when someone has upset you or you're feeling some angst about something like that. So that is all I wanted to talk about tonight. We went a little longer than normal, but it's okay because I'm wrapping up now. Um, and I dedicate a whole section of my book. I dedicate a whole section to stress because it's that important. There's a whole section, not chapter, a whole section on stress. So, if you haven't gotten your copy, make sure you get your copy. I, like I did before, I'll put a post out as soon as we get off because me and trying to post while I'm doing this. Yeah, I might do something wrong and hang up prematurely, but but I'll put a post out that has the link. If you haven't grabbed your copy, go ahead. I'll be shipping them out next week. And yeah, yeah, that's and so that concludes our talk for the night. Um, Remember, stress is cumulative. So if you have takeaways, stress is cumulative. You don't have to remember the whole fight or flight situation and what happens in the body, but just know that stress is, contributing to more than just like, oh, I have a headache and that's the only thing that's happening in my body. No, no, no. There's a whole lot more that's happening and it affects everything. So you want to be mindful of that. And then remember your outlets. Remember you're listening to music, you're taking a walk in nature, you working out, you writing out your emotions, whatever that looks like for you, make sure it's positive. We want positive, but whatever that looks like for you. Oh, thank you. And then I'm so happy. Thank God, Valerie. And I'm so happy, Valerie. I listen. I'm telling you, it's the time. It's the time. We have a lot going on. There's pandemic. And I'll say this, and then I'll be out of your way. There's a lot happening. You got election, you got pandemic, and so even whatever your views are, if we all take a moment to think for the betterment of everyone, then I think will the world be in a better place? I know it sounds like a "We Are the World" song, but our nation will be in a better place, and we might not be as stressed. And you think it's kind of like we are our brother's keeper, and sometimes you may not always like your brother, but we're our brother's keeper, and we do have to pray. I know sometimes it's hard. I'm saying this for me. Sometimes it's hard, but we do have to pray for everyone. And for those, our first responders who are fighting on the front line, y'all, the pandemic is real. For those who think it's a hoax, I will reserve my comments, but there are people dying, and all it takes is us being responsible and wearing a mask. And just even if you think it's a hoax, just do it for your friends and your family members who are nurses and doctors and putting their lives on the line, and respiratory therapists, because I used to be a respiratory therapist, putting their lives on the line every day just so other people can have a fighting chance. So I don't know why I went that direction, but you know, it is what it is. You all have a wonderful evening. Georgia turn blue, Georgia turn blue, Georgia turn blue. Sorry. Okay. And know that I love you. Again, I will put the links up. Join my email list. I'll put that link up. So if you want to be the first to know about things and things new products I drop, I do a Wellness Wednesday, and you get some bonus nuggets there. Go ahead and sign up for my email list. I'll put that link there. Of course, if you haven't grabbed your book, grab your book. It is thebomb.com. And yeah. And oh yeah, and then there's a webinar. I do a webinar once a month, so stay tuned. I will be putting it out on social media. I don't have a date for them yet, but I will have that probably for next week. So I love you. Have a good night. Be safe. God bless. And I will talk to y'all next week. Glow up, be safe, and don't stress until then. All right. All right. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.